Bless. This is the Down to Earth podcast, the real Down to Earth podcast. This episode is based off a movie I watched a while ago, very controversial, the clone Tyrone, starring, Jamie Foxx. He's in there, and there's two other actors. I don't really know the name, excuse me for that, but one is playing, Jamie Foxx plays, right, a pimp. Then the gentleman, the other co-star, he's a gangster. The female is the prostitute, right? So, how this starts now is basically, it's showing the movie through the lens of the gangster fella, right? So the gangster fella, he's collecting money. He's collecting his money that people owe him, right? He's going around the neighborhood. It's classic, hood vibe type of movie in the beginning. And he goes to collect money from Jamie Foxx, the pimp, right? So he's the pimp of the hooker, right? So he goes to collect money. I guess there's no money, and he's like upset. He's searching around. Jamie Foxx is trying to, talk to him and stuff like that. And then when he goes outside, right, to his car, he gets basically murdered, right? So now a little bit fast forward now. So then this gentleman, the gangster guy, he wakes up, right? The other scene, wakes up. And after then, he goes back to the same location, right? Of where Jamie Foxx and the prostitute is. And he goes back into the apartment. Well, he goes to the apartment. And after Jamie Foxx is like freaked out. Jamie Foxx is the pimp. And he mentions to the gangster fella that you got killed. He's seen him get killed and murdered. Right? It didn't make no sense to him. He was freaking out. He's seen him get killed and murdered. The prostitute also, So this all freaked them out. And so later on, they went on a mission. They went on a mission together. They're doing the little investigation. And what do they find when they go to this house? Right? Want to know what they find when they go to this house? When they go to this house, they find this person in the house, looks like a scientist with an afro, white guy, doing some type of, experiments. So they capture the guy, and then they discover a secret type of area what opens up. And what did he see? What does he see? Right, he sees a body in there, and after then he takes off the covering, and it reveals that it's him, the gangster, right? And it looks like him. It's a clone of him. Jamie Foxx is in there, and the prostitute's in there with him in the house, right? Let me rewind. That same scientist got killed. Right? He got killed. It probably was an accident, but yeah, he got killed. So they discover, he discovers himself a clone. He's like very freaked out, very weird, right? Freaked out, the gangster. Jamie Foxx, all of them freak out. So they're wondering what's going on in the neighborhood. What kind of thing is going on in the area? So they all go to like a local restaurant, and they're talking and they're saying, "Yo, we gotta, what's going on?" Because when they were I don't know, I'm trying to remember exactly, but when they were at the house, they actually saw some type of footage of basically the neighborhood. Yes, that's what they saw. Footage of the entire neighborhood being monitored like it's a project. So when they went to the local restaurant to talk about this, because they're freaked out and they want to expose this or whatever, they're eating, right, some chicken, and they realize a lot of the people in the restaurant was very excited, more energetic, very happy. So Jamie Foxx puts two and two together. It's the chicken making them act that way. The people who are in the restaurant, and saying that there's something in the chicken, right? Similar to what they found when they were at that house where they were looking for, what's going on, right? So they realized there's a big conspiracy against the people of that part of the city, or the town, whatever you want to call it. They're seeing that there's these people, right, scientists or the powers that be, the law enforcement, has the whole neighborhood as guinea pigs, right? They're watching them, they're feeding them, they're studying them, and this is very shocking to Jamie Foxx and the gangster and the prostitute. They want to expose this because they feel this is very wrong, right? What's the government up to? But to the opposition, this is something normal. This is something what's been going on from a long time. Because when they discover this, someone realized that it's out of the bag right now, right? It's out of the bag. So there's another character who basically a Caucasian character who basically is tracing down the gangster and the pimp and the prostitute, because they realize that they figured out the Matrix. He's basically the main guy for these scientists who are examining or watching the people of the area. So now they're a threat. So they're feeding these people poison. They're keeping them in one area, and they're studying them. What does that sound like? Is that not really going on right now? Still? But this is a conspiracy, or the not a theory, but fact, what's been going on in real life with the black community and in regards to the government or authority. That we've been lied to, we've been tricked, fooled, all types of stuff. So they cloned Tyrone is based off of cloning and simulation. Cloning and this AI stuff, all in the mix. Basically taking people and making a copy of them. A whole copy. Hundreds, if not thousands of them. Why? So they could fool people. Right? So this is a message. This is a message in the movie. But then again, continue, which is another type of, very mysterious thing, that Jamie Foxx was sick for the last couple, I guess, months. very, very sick, disappeared from public eye, and this was one of his last movies he has completed. When he showed his face to the public a couple weeks ago, he looked nothing like the original Jamie Foxx. We can expect that because of his sickness, but he joked about being a clone in that video. He joked about it, and that's when, this show just came out. When he came out saying that he's alright. This film is totally against the grain. It's totally against everything. Because this is something certain people don't want you to know about. But it's really going on. They really are, or they have been doing it to my people. For a long time, they have been doing it to my people. The Move 9, look up the Move 9. Look up the Black Panthers. Look up any revolutionary group that fights for the people. Just look it up. Right? So part of this movie reminds me of one or two other movies I've watched before. It's basically saying the mans, or the powers that be, they're putting things into a lot of things we consume, and we should be careful. It's kind of hard to avoid, but they're saying that it's like you're trying to exterminate us mentally and physically, right? So they cloned Tyrone. This movie is one of the best movies I've ever seen in a long time. I will watch it over and over again. It has a good message for many. But you gotta ask yourself, in this world where they say we have like 8 billion, don't we all really have like somebody who looks like us, maybe more than one, that looks exactly like us? What would you call that? There's people who look exactly like you somewhere around the world. What would you call that? Would that be a clone? Well, in this movie, they have it like that. Soon as if you die, this clone's gonna take over you and your character. That's how they have it. They have them in this movie. They're underground, and they have many other individuals doing projects on them. They're doing projects on projects. This is something that was done before, right? In real life, not just no movie thing. Real life. They're doing the clone Tyrone to everybody in some way, but certain people, are more under the scope. So you have to look on your neighborhoods now. When they say there's trouble in neighborhoods, yes, the people in where you're from are the people who can make the area bad. But there's influence also, outside influence. Outside influence is many. So I just want you people to just go watch this movie with Jamie Foxx. It's his latest movie, what he has done. They cloned Tyrone, and it's very controversial, right? But the characters they put in it, like I said, Jamie Foxx is the pimp, and then the lady, she had to be the prostitute. That's how they done it. And then there's the gangster. It's like a blaxploitation movie, right? That's what it is. So you gotta ask yourself the whole time, wherever you live, right? What are they watching? What are they watching? because they're watching all the time. Like, if you really look on it in society, you're always under surveillance. Any store you go into, even a commercial building, there's always a camera. You go even to the bank machine, there's a camera. So, we're living in an age where we're all being watched constantly. But that's what they cloned Tyrone, that these scientists or these researchers are always watching us. They're always watching us, they're studying us, because they still can't figure out the black man or the black woman. It's a mystery. So they're studying. And that's what they cloned Tyrone is all about. They're studying us. And what for? Where all the concentration? This movie is an eye-opener. It's a big eye-opener for many who are not educated to realize about the system, how they make it hard, especially for my people. Right? So, it's a movie, but it's very close to reality. The only thing that throws it off is the cloning, which people want to make it look like it's fake, but that's what they're doing. That's what they've been hearing for the last whatever, how much years, a good amount of years they've been talking about this. Right? In China, they're cloning. It's illegal, so-called illegal in America to clone. They made it illegal in certain other countries, but China never made it illegal. That's an example of, like, the bullshit they're telling you. Like, they're not the America hasn't cloned. Yes, of course they probably have a long time ago, and the list goes on. Right? The list goes on. So they clone Tyrone is basically telling you how the system Babylon is watching us and trying to control us every day, and they're doing research and they're watching us, but their research is to see how they could get you, how they could put more poison in you, how they could make money off of you, and how they could make you a slave for life. That's the research. And they need a balance. Bless. This is the Down to Earth podcast, the real Down to Earth podcast. This episode is based off a movie I watched a while ago, very controversial. They clone Tyrone, starring, Jamie Foxx. He's in there, and there's two other actors. I don't really know the name, excuse me for that, but one is playing, Jamie Foxx plays, right, a pimp. Then the gentleman, the other co-star, he's a gangster. The female is the prostitute, right? So, how this starts now is basically it's showing the movie through the lens of the gangster fella, right? So the gangster fella, he's collecting money. He's collecting his money that people owe him, right? He's going around the neighborhood. It's classic, hood vibe type of movie in the beginning. And he goes to collect money from Jamie Foxx, the pimp, right? So he's the pimp of the hooker, right? So he goes to collect money. I guess there's no money, and he's like upset. He's searching around. Jamie Foxx is trying to, talk to him and stuff like that. And then when he goes outside, right, to his car, he gets basically murdered, right? So now a little bit fast forward now.